guys, it's Oberstadt, and in today's video I'm going to be doing another like using what you have kind of thing. I'm going to be taking the BH Cosmetics Marvycorn palette that has all of these shades in it, and at least one if not two shades out of my like singles that I pulled for this month for my Shop My Stash to do like a makeup look. So because I already have like a Dirty Royal and Nickel brush that has one of the shades on it, I'm going to be doing two looks, and then I'm going to be probably adding something into my Shop My Stash for November because I'm finding that one of the products that I have pulled is like killing my skin. So I'm going to be going into this shade first. This was from Itsy. It's the shade Boho, and it's ITTSE. It's not IPSY. It's not Ipsy. It's Itsy. So it is a like mauve, like rose kind of shade. So I'm going to be using that on the one eye. And all I have on right now is skincare. And this shade and the brush itself works both amazingly. The shade, as you can see, blends out beautifully. The brush does an amazing job too, and it's angled. So it really like hugs that brow bone like it's supposed to. Now I'm going to switch to the other eye. I'm going to take a Farrah brush, and I'm going to be going into this first shade, which is called Fodder. Which, again, for those that don't know anything about horses, fodder means feed. Or it can also be used as a term for firewood on a fire. Fodder is like something that you use to feed something else. So firewood for a fire is fodder, or hay or, you know, grain, that kind of thing would be fodder for a horse. I don't really know of anybody that's used it for anything other than those kinds of, you know, terms. And other than a little bit of kickback in the pan, this shade also blends out beautifully. And I'm going to be keeping these looks like kind of simple. So I'm going to deepen up each look with this spray tan shade right here. And I'm going to try this, like, this is a weird looksy brush. It's a 237 blending brush, but it's like thin. It's thinner than the normal like brushes. It's not like densely packed like some of their other brushes are. And it's a pretty neutral undertone brown. So I'm just deepening up this outer edge. I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, and then I'm going to put some shimmers on the lid. It's almost acting like a duo fiber brush because of how thin it is. Alright, now I'm going to go into a Wet n Wild brush, and I think for this eye here I'm going to use the K-Bye shade and then the Live in the Life, which is the center shade. I'm going to try using these dry first. And BH shimmers are usually very beautiful. They go on nice. They may look a little chunky when you first put them on, but if you run over them with your finger, they usually smooth out. So I'll put a shadow on, and then I'll press over it to kind of like stick it to my eyelid. And then that way I can see if there's anywhere that I either missed or my eyelid crease ate the shadow. Plus, by maneuvering your eyelid in different directions, you can see where you put things and where you didn't. That's a beautiful shade. All right, I'm going to use the same brush. I'm not even going to wipe it off. I'm going into the Living the Life, which is that center highlight shade. And I'm just lightly tapping. And then I'm going to press over that one. And then swiping in the center to kind of blend them together. I'm going to take my little color switch and get my brush clean. Now for this eye, because it's kind of like a neutral eye, I'm going to go into the shade 8000, and then I'm going to go into Sheesh and do kind of the same thing. And then going right into Sheesh. Now, for those of you that know me, know I like working with color. So these are some very neutral looks for me right now. We will come back to the eyes in just a second. And what I'm going to be doing is just a little bit of something for like face products. Make sure I don't have anything here. I have been having a hard time with the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer, like drying me out really bad. So I'm going to be adding this product into my Shop My Stash this month. This is the Smashbox 24-hour Studio Skin Waterproof Blah 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 Concealer. I'm going to take that and I'm going to do a small bloop of the medium warm. And then I'm going to blend that out, and then we'll do blush and bronzer and then finish the eyes. All right, now back to the eyes. I'm going to go back into that fodder shade for this eye, angling my brush up. And then grabbing my Royal and Langnickel brush, I'm going to dip it, just the tip of it, into that boho shade. This brush does an amazing job at like blowing out shadow. Especially when you flip it upside down, you can like really get it to hug the underside of your eye. All right. Now for something that I don't usually do, I'm going to be taking, what do I want to do? I'm going to take this Moana shade right here. I'm going to put it right here. And yes, I just got fallout. I could feel it hit my nose. It's like all over my nose. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of it and drag it underneath the front of my eye. And I'm going to clean my brush off. And I'm going to grab that K by shade and put that underneath the rest right up against my lash line. Think of it as that like eyeshadow pop effect for like your eye. I'm sure you know what I mean. You see a palette, it's really pretty. Like this one, really pretty. You cover these two shades and you cover this shade, and what do you have? A nice neutral palette. And now I got purple and green all over me. All right, and then with this eye, I think I'm gonna take, I think this is Acrobat. Yeah, Acrobat. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye, like I did here, but I'm gonna use pink instead. And then I'm going to go into the shade 8000 under my lash line like I did over here. So that they're like the same look, they're just different colors. And just for S&Gs, I'm gonna go back into that spray tan shade and like tap out here just a little bit now that the lower lash line is done. Just to deepen that up just a little bit on each eye. This is a strange little brush. All right, now I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do mascara. This is the Benefit They're Real. I'm still testing this out. This will be like the third time I've used it. I still hate this little spike on the end. I think I might do a battle of with this mascara and put it against the other Benefit mascaras that I have to see what I think. And definitely at the end of the month when I do my like Shop My Stash recap, I'll let you guys know more about how I feel about it then, because I haven't been using it that long. Like I said, this is like the third, maybe fourth time that I've used that mascara. You know, now that my look is basically done, now I'm looking and I think I need a little bit of liner. So I'm gonna take my white liner and I'm gonna use this in my waterline. All right, so I think this is it. So what do you guys think? Two different looks. I used two different single shadows to throw into using it with this palette. What do you guys think about this two looks using the Marvycorn palette? I really am trying to go through, and my friend Gina has been picking palettes for me. I'm like, okay, here's all my palettes, and I like set aside the ones that I've used recently, and I give her choices of just so many palettes. And in between doing like the recordings and stuff for the holiday looks that I'm doing, because I've got 2 recorded so far, and I've got like 5 or 6 more on my phone like saved off and planned already. So in between recording those, which take a long time, I am doing like kind of like shopping my stash and using the palettes that I have, but I've been being consistent with using the shades that are in this palette. There's not a whole lot of shades in here, and they're kind of like a mismatch of shades to use. And granted, I've got my highlighters, and I've got 2 highlights, 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a setting powder in there as well. And I think if I left those out, I would have had more room to put more shadows, and I will keep that in mind for December Shop My Stash, because I do have like a whole other magnetic palette just like that one that only has a couple of things in it. So when I go to like put this stuff away after my recap, and I go to like look at building my stuff for next month, I think what I'll do is probably 2 magnetic palettes, and one with just face stuff in it and one with just eyeshadows, so that way I have more single shadows to choose from. And hopefully by then I will have my Jeffree Star order that still hasn't shipped yet, and it's the 12th of November. So and when I get my stuff from that, I will be doing like a whole recap about the ordering process, how long it took, what emails I got, when I got emails, if I got text messages, tracking, that kind of thing. I will be going over the entire breakdown, and I will be comparing it to the last 2 orders, or I should say the only other 2 orders I've ever placed on Jeffree Star's website. So I will be comparing all of them together. This was a big launch for him, so I understand that there's delay, and it says something about a 10-day processing time, but there's a lot of people that ordered after me on the website that placed orders at like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night or the next day, and they have their stuff already. And so I'm not quite sure how that works, but it is what it is. I will wait. I'm not very good at waiting, but I will wait. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this look. Let me know which eye you like better. Do you like the pop effect that I did? I'm not used to using that, and I didn't use any like shimmery shade on my brow bone. I kind of left that matte. So we use 1 matte shade and 3 shimmer shades per eye. So anyways, I'm Rebecca Oberstadt. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Have a fantastic day or night wherever you are, and I will see you then.